welcome to another Mario Party 8 minigame review. Today we're reviewing the dual minigame, Surf's Way Up.
In this one, you're just trying to collect as many points as you can. To do this, you just have to go through all the point icons. But beware, because there's also Bowser icons, and if you go through those ones, you lose all your points. Whoever has the most points when you go through the goal will win.
Okay, I have to say, it was pretty shocking that going through a Bowser ring zeroed out all of your points. What was that?
Yeah, wasn't that really rough? I mean, I'm not even saying I totally dislike it. It was just, really vicious. There was a lot of times when one of us would be doing really well and then accidentally go through that one at the very end and end up losing all our points.
Yeah. Can we talk about how they put one at the very end? Like, that was their whole plan, was to have someone be in the lead until the very end and then lose everything? Gosh, this is probably one of the most cutthroat Mario Party minigames.
Yeah, but I kind of like it. I mean, the first time we played through this one, I was way ahead of you in points, but then I went through that last one right before the end goal, and I ended up losing all my points. And normally that would be something where you would say, oh, this sucks, that's so ridiculous, but honestly in Mario Party, I don't know, it kind of fits.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree. Even though it was extreme, it also made it really fun, because you can kind of bump the other player too, so it almost became a try and get the other player into that Bowser ring.
Yeah, we definitely did that a couple times to each other, and that just makes it all the more exciting.
Yeah, and I love that you can speed up in this one too. So if you're getting close to a 50-point ring and you want to try and get it before your opponent, you can sneak on past them to get it. There's a lot of strategy and depth in this one.
Oh yeah, that's true. It is really nice when you're able to speed up and get the points that the other player's going for right before they do. I mean, sure, they can speed up too, but sometimes you're just a little faster on the trigger and you get it before them. It feels really good. Especially in a dual minigame, I think stuff like that is really fun to have.
Absolutely.
So overall, Surf's Way Up is a really fun dual minigame. It's really fun to try and get as many points as you can while also trying to avoid the Bowser rings. You can do your best to avoid them, but there's going to be times when you just accidentally bump into them or your opponent bumps you into them. And that just makes for a really fun Mario Party chaotic minigame. It's definitely skill-based because you can always speed up to try and get the points before your opponent does, but that also puts you at a disadvantage because it puts you further ahead, which means you have less time to react to the Bowser rings. But that's just part of the appeal of this one. It's a great dual minigame. We're giving it 5 out of 5 stars.
Woohoo! Yeah, this one was so much fun. Well, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this review, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Up next, we'll be reviewing Swervin Skies. Well, this one sounds like another flying minigame.
If you want to see how this one is, come back for our next video. Hope to see you then.
You'll never defeat me! Are you crazy? You could have killed me!
Hello and welcome to another Mario Party 8 minigame review. Up today we're playing the dual minigame Cosmic Salami.
In this one, it's a race to the finish. Avoid the obstacles and use your power boost at the right time. Whoever gets to the end first will win.
Yeah, this one's a pretty straightforward racing minigame. When you start it, you're both on your own path, but then about halfway through it, you kind of converge together, so you're able to kind of bump into each other and everything. I kind of like that because it's cool seeing when you pass your opponent or when they're still ahead of you.
I really like that too, but why do we have to start off on separate paths? Shouldn't we both be on the same path the whole time?
Yeah, I'm not sure why they did that. I guess maybe they thought that if you started off right next to each other that you would just be kind of slamming into each other to start with.
Which you definitely can do throughout the game.
Yeah, you really can. I don't know that there is much benefit or drawback to it though. I just kind of did my own thing.
Same. I had a little bit of a hard time avoiding the obstacles though.
Yeah, you have to tilt the Wii remote to turn left or right. So yeah, it's a little bit finicky. Although I got used to it enough to play it.
Well, and those boosts let you go through the obstacles. So what I did is anytime I thought I was about to hit the obstacle and I didn't have time to move, I'd use a boost.
Yeah, that's definitely the #1 strategy to remember here. If you get into a tight spot, just boost through it. Apart from that, I don't think this minigame's all that exciting. It's just your basic duel minigame where you're racing your opponent to the finish line. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's also been done before, and it really doesn't bring anything new to the table here.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't have a ton of fun with this one, but when you made it to the end, it was kind of rewarding. But nothing out of this world for Cosmic Saloon.
So overall, Cosmic Golem isn't the worst minigame we've ever played, but it's far from the best. As a duel minigame, it serves its purpose as being a fun race to the finish. It's nice that you're able to see your opponent since you're racing on the same track for most of the level. But apart from that, there's not much to make this that exciting. You have a few boosts that you can use to go through the obstacles, and I guess the fact that you're using the Wii Remote is kind of novel, but it still doesn't feel like this one brings much to the table. We're giving it 3 stars out of 5.
Well, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this review, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. If you're not sure if you're subscribed, check and then subscribe. Up next, we'll be reviewing Crank to Rank. Why do I feel like the rank for this crank is gonna be 1?
Hey, don't give up hope yet. Surely there's gotta be some good minigames coming up.
I guess I'm just a crank.
And you smell pretty rank.
Okay.
If you want to see what this next minigame is like, come back for our next video.
Hope to see you then.
Total annihilation in T-1 minute.
Hello and welcome to another Mario Party 8 minigame review. Up today we're reviewing the 1 vs 3 minigame Swervin Skies.
In this one, the team of 3 has 2 balloons on their airplane, and they're trying to not get hit. The single player is trying to hit the balloons and knock them out of the sky. If the single player can knock everyone out of the sky, then they win. If the team can survive, then they win.
So yeah, it's a pretty good concept. I mean, everyone's kind of playing with motion controls, which is how you move your plane, but it's not really done that badly. I didn't have a problem with it, at least.
You know, I didn't really either, but I did feel like it was more clunky to play as a single player than as the team of 3.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. I feel like the minigame kind of makes a single player's plane move a little bit slowly than it does if you're on the team. When I was a single player, it seemed like I was just so slow to move around and adapt to what the other players were doing. But once I played as a player on the team, I felt like I could move around a lot quicker.
I agree, because when you're playing as a single player, it feels like there's not as much strategy, and that you're just kind of button mashing to try and hit the balloons.
Yeah, when I'm the single player, I'm definitely just constantly shooting as much as I can. And I guess I'm just sort of trying to go after all the players, but at the same time, I try and do things like predict where they're going to be, because since you're slower, you're never going to be exactly where they are as fast as they are. Which means that once you get to where they are and shoot, they're already going to be gone. So I don't know if there's a really good strategy for playing as a single player.
Totally. I feel like whenever I won, it was just luck. That being said, I did have a lot of fun on the team though. Because you can move so fast, it feels like you've got a lot more maneuverability.
Yeah, I feel like you definitely do. But having said that, I don't feel like the team won all that much more often than the single player did. I mean, it still felt relatively even where the single player would win sometimes and the team would win other times.
That is true.
So maybe it just comes down to luck, I guess? I don't know. I mean, I guess the fact that the single player can just always shoot as much as they want is helpful at the end. So overall, Swervin Skies is far from the worst minigame we've ever played. Sure, you might seem like you're at a disadvantage if you're the single player just because you move a lot slower than the team players do, but in the end, I don't think it really affects it all that much in terms of winning. You still have a decent chance, but having said that, it really feels like it comes down to luck, which it shouldn't. This is definitely a minigame that should just come down to pure skill. But having said that, it is still fun when you're able to shoot down the players or dodge out of the way of the single player if you're on the team. So we're still giving it 3 stars out of 5.
Well, that's it for today. If you enjoyed this review, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Up next, Donkey King. Do you think Donkey Kong's gonna make an appearance in this? He's always swinging from Vine.
Let's hope so. If you want to see how it is, come back for our next video.
Hope to see you then.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Nothing happened. Maybe my count.
Now I see why Octopus made Pocoyo practice like that. You're a bit too young to juggle, Pocoyo, but not too young to be juggled. You were able to join in after all.